Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
How is everyone doing?
Hope everybody's staying out of this record-breaking heat.
Yeah. If the virus doesn't get you, the heat will.
An all-time record.
Bad joke.
Hottest summer ever in
Arizona.
It is.
And dry. Super dry. There's no rain. It's worse than a monsoon, I think.
Yeah, not a drop of rain.
Not a drop. I don't
we'll
know.
have to get the shirts. I survived the summer of 2020 in Arizona.
Yeah, that's the follow-up to the I survived 2020.
Oh yeah, there was also a little coronavirus.
Coronavirus in there somewhere too.
Put that on the back or something. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, hope everybody's doing well. As always, we'll start with a joke.
Uh-huh.
You want me to start? Age before beauty?
No, let me go first.
Must be that good. Okay.
You're gonna like it.
Okay, I hope so. Let's hear it.
Okay, so the doorbell rings and a guy goes to answer the doorbell. And on his doorstep there's a snail. Guy's like, that's weird. Picks up the snail and chucks it. Goes back in, closes the door. 2 years later, the doorbell rings again. I'm sure it rang before, in between them. But anyway. Guy answers the door again and the snail's like, what was that all about? The snail? Took 2 years to get there.
2 years to get back. That was a long joke.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
2 years worth.
All right. You're going to like mine better than that one.
What do you got?
Okay. The only thing worse than having a spider in the room is losing a spider in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not good. You're not sleeping well
any
that
insects,
night.
really. You don't want to lose anything.
Yeah. I saw a tarantula today.
That's
I was
scary.
showing a home.
Here in the valley.
In the valley, not in Flagstaff. This was here in the valley. I saw my first ever tarantula.
I
It was
do
like
not
a
want to
brown
know
one
that. That is
tucked in against
scary.
the patio door.
Fuzzy and everything?
Yeah, fuzzy and brown, and I thought it was a toy or something. I wondered if it was real, and then the lady I was showing the home jumped out of her skin, and I knew it was real. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. And this was out in the desert. This was a custom home that you were
Custom
showing.
home, yeah. So. Anyway,
what do you got?
I got a second joke for you. So this is a question for my essential oil friends. You're an essential oil person.
I am.
Feed those to me nonstop.
Love them, yes.
Yeah. Which oil calms housebound families? It's chloroform, right? Chloroform?
No,
No?
It is not the proper oil to use at all.
It's like lavender or something, right?
Yes, lavender.
Okay.
Blue pansy is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple.
Okay. All right. This week, and we're a little behind, so there's actually 2 weeks worth here.
Sorry, we took a week off. Things have been busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we apologize. We'll try to get more consistent.
Had a family emergency on our team, and so that made us a little extra busy.
We're going to try for every Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
We're going to try to get very consistent so you can count
on the calendar now. So
every Wednesday at 1. Okay. We'll see how that works. Okay. This week in history. 1992, U.S. basketball's dream team. Remember that? Magic Johnson was on that team. And
that was amazing.
They win Olympic gold, of course. Who was going to beat them?
Mm-hmm.
In Barcelona, Spain. 1958, Billboard magazine's first #1 song was August 4th is Poor Little Fool by Ricky Nelson.
Huh.
1949, a lot of basketball info here. The National Basketball Association is formed August 3rd.
Okay, NBA.
I've got a few more here. A lot of history going on.
Mm-hmm.
1922, the U.S. telephone system shuts down August 4th to honor Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone.
The whole day?
All day.
We should do that again.
Yeah, we should do that. Just
spoken from
call
the
it
realtor.
a No Electronics Day for all day to celebrate Alexander Graham Bell. That would be kind of cool.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to read this one, but I knew you wouldn't let me get away with it.
What does that say?
1921, 8 Chicago White Sox players are acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
Acquitted. I know they were later found guilty, but
yes, they were.
August 2nd on charges of cheating.
It was really a tragic day in baseball, honestly,
They
as far as
threw the World Series to the dreaded
history
Cincinnati Reds.
standpoint.
At least they didn't throw it to the Chicago Cubs. That I could not have lived down.
Really.
Yeah.
They would have, those dirty Sox. They would have sold their firstborn.
It was the owner's fault. He was
He was
terrible.
dirty.
He was
He
terrible.
was dirty, yeah.
Okay.
We're not only history buffs on, well, the U.S. history, but also a baseball history.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Quite the Chicago
People,
rivalry. I'm a
fans.
White Sox fan, and she's a dreaded
Yes.
Cub fan.
Yes.
So
So we have fun in the Windy City Classics.
that's coming up, by the way.
I know. At least
Yeah.
we get to have it this year. Yay!
Yeah. Okay, 1858, the first street side mailboxes are installed. August 7th in Boston and New York City.
19 or 18? What is that?
1858.
1858 in
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
Nice.
Couple more.
What did they do before? Did like Paul Revere just ride?
Pony Express.
Pony Express,
I
and
guess.
they came and handed it to you?
I guess. Yeah.
Huh.
Or no, they probably had a walking mailman. He just, like a milkman. He
Just put it in through the mail slots.
He probably rang every bell and
Yeah.
had a conversation, and
Oh, wow.
those were the days.
That was-
Yeah. Okay, 1989, Nintendo's Game Boy handheld video gaming device is released July 31st. The
Okay.
beginning of the end of children playing
1989.
outside and getting exercise.
It's true. It's true. We're grateful and thankful for kids being occupied at times, but other times it's, just go outside and play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 1940, Bugs Bunny debuts in the cartoon A Wild Hare.
I had Bugs Bunny pop up on something I was doing online on a YouTube video, and Bugs Bunny was one of the advertisements or something that came up, and I was like, wow, Bugs Bunny. So I love Bugs Bunny.
1790, the first census was completed August 1st, records a total population of 3,929,000 people.
Wow.
1790.
1790? Almost 4 million people?
Yep.
Wow.
1775, a new U.S. postal system is established July 26th under, of course, Postmaster Ben Franklin.
Yeah,
What an amazing man he
Yeah.
was.
for sure.
Last couple weeks in history. There you
Wow.
go.
Some big history, although we're in the middle of making history right now.
Yeah. So some of the news and real estate related issues coming out. U.S. economy did plunge 32.9% in the second quarter. That was totally expected.
That's right.
But the thing you got to remember is the way they calculate that is they look at that and go, okay, the whole year, what would it be if it continued that pace? So a little dose of reality. The overall economy in the second quarter is only 9.5% smaller than the same period a year ago.
Well, we were a pretty hardy economy. We are still a pretty hardy economy. We have to remember that.
Right. We're
So,
going to recover
even
quickly,
though this
very
is
quickly out of
craziness,
this.
yeah.
And the housing market is going to lead the way.
I haven't heard what the unemployment rate now is. Is it
They
slowly
reports
recovering?
once a month, and it was just recently out, so we won't see it again for another week or so.
Okay.
But we'll report it when it does come out.
Okay.
Okay, continuing, the housing market roars despite inventory down roughly 15%, and I question that percentage being way conservative
Yeah.
personally, but
Yeah.
I'll give you some additional numbers here in a minute. Demand for housing remains remarkably strong, again driven by lack of inventory and incredibly low historic interest rates. For the homes listed on Redfin between June 22nd and July 19th, asking prices increased by a whopping 14%. That's a little steep.
It's a little steep.
Yeah, that will lead to some problems if we don't keep it a little bit cooled off. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
46% of new listings had an offer within 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not waiting long. Buyers are out there.
Mm-hmm. They're waiting for listings to come on the market. Just
yes,
waiting.
And the crazy multi-offer stories we are still hearing, we're still involved in. We've lost a couple that we did everything under the sun and still could not compete. So
yeah,
it's just tough for buyers right now, but not impossible. So don't give up.
Right, it's not
Hang in there.
No,
we can find you a home.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple offers abound. Nearly 30% of 2020 home shoppers reported getting outbid by another buyer in the second quarter. About 60% have searched upwards of 3 months without success, but 51% are still saying we're going to keep on trucking and we're going to keep moving forward. So, home prices, obviously, with all this, are rising. Home prices have hit record highs as buyers are battling it out across the nation over a limited selection of reasonably priced abodes. In July, the median home price shot up 8.5% to a new all-time high of $349,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So even in the middle of a recession and the worst unemployment since the Great Depression, that's from Realtor.com.
And this is national news, right?
Yeah, this is nationally.
National
but
news. Okay.
I think we're pretty good. Arizona's a pretty good barometer of what's going on.
For sure.
Interest rates have held steady. I'll go ahead and jump over to that real quick. The 30-year conforming 2.962, and for well qualified buyers, we're hearing 2.75. So talk to your lender and push them a little bit on the best possible rate. The 15-year 2.518. Wow. FHA 3.00. Great FHA rate.
Yeah.
The VA is holding steady at 2.662.
Okay.
Very good interest rates. They just are holding steady. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, you remember they were under distress during the housing crash. And again, this is indicative of this is not a housing recession.
No.
Housing is bucking this recession that we're in, and it is leading the way out of it. So a totally different situation that we're in. They netted $2.53 billion and $1.94 billion respectively.
Okay.
And mortgage delinquencies 2.48% in June. So it is up, as is expected to be, because we have unemployment, but it's certainly not out of control delinquency that we had.
We have the forbearances that we've talked about, and we have, a lot of lenders are offering different tools. If you were out of work for a time due to COVID, and if your job was impacted by the virus, then they have a lot of tools that can help you catch up.
Yes, reach out to your lender. Don't be afraid to reach out to your lender.
Right.
If you need to discuss options, that's what they're there for.
Do I get to go next?
Yeah, you go ahead. What you got for us?
Well, I wanted to throw in an interesting story I found. Investing giant doubled down on suburban home purchase. Again, this is a national story. But I thought, investing giant, okay, so I know some of the investing giants that we have out there. This one's called Invitation Homes, nation's largest single-family landlord. Interesting. So sounds like they are buying to rent out. Their landlord, right? So in March, the company's stock rose 84%, which is an interesting time for it to rise, but that's what the story says. And they plan to purchase in metro areas. Phoenix and Seattle being one of the major areas that they plan to invest in and start purchasing. I don't know where they're
going to find the homes
to purchase. Unless they're going to do it below values that are median. median home values that the median buyer would be buying. You know, the homes that people don't want, or the people.
Were you talking about? Oh, you talking about homes that need renovated and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going to find the homes.
And the other thing about this that I found interesting is that they plan to buy directly from builders and iBuyers. iBuyers being, of course, Zillow buys homes.
Yeah, Zillow, Open Door,
OfferPad, yeah. Those are the big names in iBuyers.
Well, I hope. I don't want to see them buying directly from builders, but if they're going to hold the homes, they're not flipping. It'll be kind of hard to stop them. Yeah. But hopefully, builders will hold firm on them buying them and flipping them. We don't want to see that happen.
Well,
again.
And as far as I know, that isn't a rule in play in most areas. It used to be during the housing boom. People, the regular buyers were crying out saying, hey, all these investors are coming in, they're going to ruin our home values, because they were buying and flipping pretty quickly within 3 months. And so the builders heard the outcry and responded with, okay, we're not going to let you buy and flip. You've got to buy and hold for at least 2 years. So I don't know that exists now among builders. I hope it does.
Yeah, it's probably still there. It just hasn't been functioning because it hasn't been needed. But it'll be interesting to watch that. So
then the other article that I have is the 7 client behaviors emerging from the virus. We talked about 7 or the different trends emerging from Instagram on the last video. So I thought this was interesting. Buyers are in a rush, number 1. Whereas last year, buyers would look at an average of 9 homes before making a purchase. Now they're looking at 3 or 4.
HGTV, baby.
HGTV style. Well, I think part of that's the inventory. We don't have as much to show them.
Right.
For one thing. And I think that they are sensing an urgency. Gotta hurry up and
they're in competition with a lot of other buyers, so they have to react quickly.
Wish lists are shifting. This is interesting. Of course, we know home offices. Everybody needs a home office now, right?
Yep, a lot more people working from home.
Yeah, either you're working from home or your kids are.
That's right. You need classroom space.
Space, yeah. I was talking to one person this past weekend, and she has like a 3rd grader. So you can't necessarily put them in their bedroom because that's where their toys and their other distractions are. So you need to put them in a place that's more of a classroom setting that doesn't have those distractions.
Right.
The other thing that was interesting was upsizing on outdoor space, so a bigger yard for the desire to have their own pool. So if the public pool is shut down because of a virus or sickness going around, they've got their own pool.
Yeah. They also have residual income because they're saving much more money with this shelter in place. They're not going out. They're not traveling.
Yeah.
So saving is way up so they can afford to upgrade their homes.
Buyers are less concerned about commutes. Obviously, we've talked about working from home being a big deal. Multi-generational households may grow more common. I think this has been a trend over the past few years.
I don't know if the virus has that much to do with that. That's been growing considerably, and buyers are adjusting their floor plans. There's a lot of buyers now advertising multi-gen, so I don't know that that's related specifically to the COVID-19.
What they're trying to circle it around to say is that even the young millennials, the 20-somethings, are wanting to stay closer to their family. So those folks are buying in that capacity. You know, COVID kind of makes you realize what's important, and family's important. So pets could drive purchasing decisions. This was an interesting discussion that we had. It surprised me until Robert said that pets are
The
more of an
number
emotional
of
support.
Pets getting
Yeah.
adopted out of shelters is skyrocketing
Which
because
I think is amazing and wonderful.
yeah, it's awesome. And so now they have a pet, so now they have to think about, well, now we need a grass area, or we need a bigger yard, or we need to be close to a park or something.
Right, yeah.
So that's awesome.
That is good. 2 more. First-time buyers wave could emerge. So more first-time buyers, they're saying. In the 1980s, 75% of first-time buyers were married, whereas in 2019, that dropped to 53%.
Mm-hmm.
Because young adults are waiting to get married. They're waiting longer. And unmarried couples are actually buying at higher levels than ever recorded, up to 17%, which is not very high still, but it is an increase.
Okay.
So, and the seventh trend emerging here is the housing tenure could fall. So, in other words, how long are you keeping a house? The average has been 10 years, and they're looking at, the average now is 10 years versus the traditional 6 years, which here in the valley, I think we tend more towards the less time.
More transitional?
Just from what we're seeing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Seems
interesting.
Seems like people size up and down out of houses at a higher rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
That's
info.
what I got.
Okay, we'll wrap it up here with home availability, and these numbers just continue to drop mostly. Across the valley, we're now under 8,000, 7,907 across the entire valley, active listings available. That is just jaw-dropping.
Mm-hmm.
In the city of Peoria, 267. So we're a little steadier, but still, that's not very many homes for a city the size of Peoria.
Yeah.
Closer to home, Estancia Village, 18 homes. So that went up a tick, but not very much.
But still not very much.
Not very many options. Price range is $285,000 to $599,000.
Okay.
Trilogy at Estancia, our active adult community here, 38 homes available. 309 being the lowest, and 849,900 being the most expensive home. And then Sun City Grand, this is a community, it's 9,800 homes. So
a lot of homes.
I'm typically expecting when I look in there for a client to find about 200 homes available.
200, yeah.
They currently have 83.
Wow.
I don't know.
What do we do?
Okay, that's everything we've got for you this week. We went a little long, but we had a few jokes to tell you and a lot of history going on this week.
And it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's been 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
anyway, we will see you next week. Everybody
See you next
have
week.
A great, safe rest of the week and weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
See you soon. I think he's just going to lay there. I think it'll be all right.
Jack, are you going to be quiet?
He might. Are we all ready? What?
I'm ready. I'm out of uniform. I know. I got my nautical shirt on. I'm longing for
I like
a cruise.
That shirt. It's a good shirt.
I'm hoping we
You
get
look good in it too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hoping we get to cruise in November.
November. Because they canceled October, so.
Yeah.